Have you ever dreamed of automating your financial tracking with even writing one line of code? So today we are going to do this, and with the use of no-code automation tool called n8n. And yeah, if you're a beginner or even you already have some knowledge, this video going to be a small tutorial, kind of crash course about how to use n8n and how to even install it and what are the options for you to have it up and running. Let's dive in. So let's probably first take a look what is actually n8n. Let's just search for it. So you can find that this is a tool you can automate any processes without even involving any code writing. So you just need to understand how all this component works and how to connect them together. So this is some small examples, not really small but still. So interesting part. So to start working with n8n, you have to click this get started and yeah, actually this is my working workspace on the n8n. So you will let's actually sign out and let's see this start free trial. So usually n8n cloud version has 14 days free trial. You have just to fill in all these options and you will get an access to n8n. But the interesting things comes in 14 days, so you will have to pay for about $20 per month if you apply only for months, or if you want to have more workflows, like, because here you can see you have only 2,500 K workflows execution and only 5 active workflows. So with another plan you can have, like, for 15 euros you will have 10K workflows execution per month, what is actually more or less enough, but you will have also only 15 active workflows, what is probably not good if you want to automate a lot of stuff. But there are some other options. You can go, for example, let me turn off this tool. So you can go and have some self-hosted things with the community edition. Yeah, so we can go, for example, and see what is included in community edition. But what I can say from my experience, because I'm actually using a Hostinger provider, if we go to the Hostinger, for example, they have this VPS. Let's go to let's change language to English first, probably English, and let's explore now services, prices, and we're interested in VPS hostings, and you can have this VPS hosting for only €7 per month, and you can actually put there anything you want. And for example, you are choosing, so yeah, and then Hostinger is amazing provider, so they also suggest you what is the best option for you to have this server to set up, because it's better to have it closer to you with a smaller latency. So for me it's Germany, and then you have a few options how to set up your server with which operating system. You can choose pure operating system, you can choose something with panel, cPanel, like for DNS or for other stuff, and you can also choose some application. And as you can see, n8n is one of most useful template for application to set up here. So yeah, but be careful, you have to apply for only if you want to try 1 month, just not to get more money from that. So you will get to pay this, it will be around €10 per month, I would say, but still The benefits of having this self-hosted, you will have unlimited workflows run and unlimited active workflows, so it's much better. But the biggest disadvantages, so if we go on this self-hosted version, you won't have a lot of options. So if you want to try some variables, so it's available only on enterprise plan, so you will need to, even with self-hosted, you are kind of limited, so you don't have all the options enabled. And also another limitation is that you can't actually share. As you can see, it's my personal workflow and I can't share it with someone, because you have to also upgrade your plan to be able to work together on some workflows. But anyway, like, it's better than paying 20 euros and having almost nothing, and paying 10 euros and have all this flexibility with unlimited workflows run and unlimited active workflows. So this is cool. And yeah, so let's go to our pipelines that we are going to implement today. So I have this small implementation with this chat. So this chat, what it will do, so this is a small component called trigger, and trigger is chat message. And if you click on this, for example, here is this session, we can put some message here and it will answer, but it's actually already workflow for our financial tracking, so it should be some probably financial information in here. Let's put some like I want some, or probably not some, one bread for 5 euro, for example, and some water for 2 euro. And if we populate it here, so we see that our pipeline actually triggered something happening, and here we see that chat is syncing, and now we have this output that there were 2 items. The total spending amount is 8, 5 on bread and 3 on water. The items were assigned to the categories food. So, and also we can check, we have this Google Sheet connection. Here is this Google Sheet. So we have some predefined categories, and we have also the stuff that we just populated here. As you can see, it's 24th of yeah. Oh, okay. Probably need some adjustment for the months, but yeah, we will fix it on the fly. And as you can see, it just assigned the category, and it took category from the list, and now we have this water and bread categorized as a food. So this is pretty cool, and we will build it from scratch, and I will show you how actually to build this workflow from scratch, and with almost like 5 or 10 minutes to spend all that stuff. So let's start. Let's probably create a new workflow. Yeah, just go to my workflows. Oops. And click this button, create workflow. Let it be just new categorization workflow. Categorization. And yeah, this is an n8n interface, so everything is visual. So this plus means that you have to add some starting component, and usually to start workflow you should have some trigger. Trigger is kind of starting point which actually give a signal to our pipeline that pipeline have to be started. So, and there are a bunch of different triggers that we can use. And yeah, usually this is the first time when you click on this plus, you will see this triggers options, because it's something that should be first, and we will choose this on chat message. Actually, with these things you have to do nothing right now, because it's just a simple component and it requires no configuration. So just click outside or click on this, let me check if I can show you, click on this back to canvas, or just click somewhere outside of this block, and it will disappear. And now we have our first component installed to our workflow pipeline. Now we can open it and you'll see this chat. We can type something and it just execute the pipeline, but as of now we don't have any output module, so this chat message just consumed and do nothing with that. So we can open this and we will see that, okay, now we have some output, and you can see that this is the session, what we can find in the chat box. Action, actually it was a message sent, and the content of the message chat input. We can later use it to just fetch the data and do some manipulation with that. Also, as far as we need to have these food things, let's populate our message and do another cool stuff that n8n provide to us. Let's put our message that will be our actually message that we want to process and get some information from there. So let's open again our chat with double click, and we see this message. And now if we don't want, each time when we want to trigger our pipeline, if we don't want to populate this message again, we can click on this as you can see, on this pin icon, and this component will just pin the data, and we don't need to trigger or populate it again in the chat message to get our pipelines triggered. So let's do that. Let's click on this. So now you see that this data is pinned. The cool stuff is also like we can adjust this pinned data with any data that we want, for example, even if it is not expected to come from this trigger module, but for testing purpose we can do some test and then some test data, yeah, and it will be that click save, and it will be the part of the output of this chat module. Okay, cool. Let's add another model. So another model that we should do is kind of get the categories that we want our AI flow use for categorization of our products. Yeah. So we want to have it kind of predefined set of categories. We can do this with Google Sheet, for example. Yeah. Let's have it here. So we need search, actually get rows sheet, yeah, this one. So yeah, another interesting thing is for each component, sometimes, especially when it comes to Google Sheet, you have to set up some credentials. Yeah, this credential will be used to get an access to some specific document on your Google account, Google Sheet or Google Drive. To make it works, it's kind of a little bit a pain in the ass to implement, to configure this. We need some stuff to do, like also we need to copy this callback link because it should be used in other settings. Let's go to console, to go like this is Google console that helps you to set up and actually get this service provider. It requires you to add first it requires you to enable some APIs. In our case it should be Google APIs, Google Drive APIs, and also it should be Google Sheet API. For me it's already enabled because I've did it for when I was implementing this pipeline. Yeah, we can click on this more info link and we can go here and just see what we can do with this. Usually I'm using these videos because it's really good and self-explaining. So we have to go to console, credential, API and services, and here we can add credentials. You just click create credential, and we need this service. No, we need this OAuth client ID. Then we have to choose web application, and here for the authorization redirect we can put the link that we just copied from the n8n. And after we click create, we'll see this client secret and everything. So we will be able to, you will need to copy this client ID and paste it here, and the same with the secret. You should copy it and paste it here, and then this sign in will with Google will appear, and it will be just the same stuff as you usually have as sign in on other sites. I won't save it because I already have my credentials set up. So now we have this credential created. Let's check what we can get from the, we need to get rows. We choose the resource, you have to choose this sheet within the document, and then check operations. In our case we need get rows, and now with the document we can choose the option, we can choose it from the list. For example, we have it n8n test, and in n8n test we have two sheets. One is categories and another one is financial tracker. Yeah, so we don't need to do anything with that, and because we don't need actually any manipulation with categories, it's pretty much okay. We can click this test button here, and we will see the result. So as an output we will see all the categories that we have inside this categories tab on the list. We can add, for example, I don't know, something like sport, and let's go back to n8n and test this tab, and now we see that sport also come here. Yeah, actually that's it for this component. Also, let me probably explain a bit what actually we see on this n8n screen. So as you can see, it consists from three components. First is configuration of the component. It is on the middle, and also we have this input section. It's something that our current component received from the previous model, and output section is something that we will return as a result from this component as well. So as you can see, it also have two different options, like show the data in table, JSON, or schema. I prefer to have a JSON just because it's very friendly to read and understand what is inside the data. But we can switch it to table. Yeah, I think this is more or less comfortable to anyone who have ever worked with tables. And schema, it's the same, but just showing what is this, not exactly the data, but just this data structure of this output. Okay, let's we can also pin this data just not to fetch it again from the Google Sheet. And let's go to the next step. And the next step is very interesting one, because as far as we receive 6 categories, usually each item will trigger next step, because as like in the for loop. So, and we actually don't need this, because we need all these categories to be kind of inside one object. And to make it possible, we need to aggregate this data in one row, for example. Yeah, so to do this, we add this aggregate field, and we need to choose some option here, all item data into a single list. So this is something what we actually need, and we shouldn't even change something here, or just choose all fields, but probably, yeah, let's choose this all fields without any changing and just hit this test step. So now we see that all the data populated inside this data object. Later we can also experiment with all other options, but for now let's make it simple. And we also, like, for now, for this component we shouldn't actually pin the data because we don't request anything outside. So usually you have to pin data if you request something outside just to save some time or network traffic or whatever, just not to ping external service many times, so we can pin the data. So with these steps more or less clear. And now this most interesting part, I would say, with this workflow implementation, we should use AI. And we will not use some complicated AI agent for this stuff. We will just have this basic LLM chain. So what this basic LLM chain will do for us is actually will process and make will process the data and make a reasoning what's actually our expenses, and make some interesting stuff like a human, so we're kind of replacing the human inside here. So let's populate some prompt here. Okay, so this model, what it should do, put an instruction, actually prompt to our AI model, what it should do and with which data. So in our case, what we need to say, okay, can you please extract the product and categorize each product, depends on the name, yeah? And we need to put some list of the products that we already have. To make it possible, we can switch to this expression, and this expression is kind of more flexible things to put inside the prompt some dynamic data. And in this case we are searching for something in the component, but not in this aggregated one. Actually, there is a bit easier way to implement this. We can just choose the source of the input what we want to use. Let's, for example, use our chat input because we actually need this item, and then just pick it and grab and drop it into the message. And here you see in what it will be transformed. So this is just amazing thing. So we see that this prompt will be kind of with the data we just pop up in the chat message, but also we need to put some other prompt, kind of system prompt, with our categories to say our AI what categories we actually have to populate all this data. And to do that, we need to switch back to aggregate, and let's copy another prompt. I will add all this prompt to GitHub later. So what we did, we say act as professional classificator of products. I don't know if there is any profession like that, but then we also provide this categories that we already have. So this is a bit kind of programming things, but yeah, you can just copy it. But what it's actually doing, so this JSON object, it actually contain all the data that we receive from aggregate component. And as you see, next we put dot and data, and we show all this data which is inside, and then we use map function just to iterate over the elements inside, just to get only categories without these raw numbers. So pretty cool. And also we do make some requirements, so don't if there is no products, just don't know which to choose, fall back to unknown, and yeah, return this as a JSON with a product price and categories. Okay, let's go. And yeah, we can click test, but I think at least for now it won't work because we need to do something else. And you can see that basic LM model subnode must be connected, so we didn't connect any LLM yet. So let's make it here. Okay, if we click on this plus, you will see that we can actually choose some model from the list. we will use ChatGPT because it's kind of the easiest way to, or probably not the easiest, but at least the most common way to have the output and AI works really as you expected. For this, we also will need to add OpenAI account. I will just choose my one, but if you click on create new credential, you have to populate API key here, and yeah, this is not required. API key you can find if you open the docs here. You can find the place how you can actually get API key from OpenAPI. So you have to create an OpenAPI account, then get the section of API key, and then you will get this API key. And I won't show this section because it's out of the scope, but yeah, feel free to put a comment, and I will also make a video how to make all these different connections with use of n8n. For now, we will use my OpenAI account, and we will choose the model from the list. Let's choose just released model for 1 nano because it's very cheap and very fast, and it's good enough for our purpose. So that's it for this component, and we can click outside just to close it. Let's put it here. Yeah, probably another stuff that we have to do here, we need to define the output. Yeah, let's have this test. Okay, now we see that we actually did this run, and we see that it was a prompt. This was a prompt for the our AI model, and here is an output, and it's actually already doing really cool things. So it's already got the name of the product, got the price, and got the category, and it looks really cool. So let's go to the next one. So now we have to put all the data that we just fetch from this prompt. Yeah, we need to put it into the Google Sheet. Yeah, but before putting that, we should make right now, as you saw, we had it as one output. Yeah, so let's go back. So we have it as one output here, but we need to actually spread it to different items. Yeah, so item 1, this with this curly braces, it should be bread price, and another one, it will be another row in the Google Sheet. So to make it, we need to use another built-in n8n function called split out. So this one, and this split out things will actually split the stuff for us. But first, it won't work actually, but let's try, because no other fields. Yeah, let's try. So okay, the problem is that we need to fix first a format. Yeah, this checkbox, just need to click this checkbox to specify the output. And now we see that this message appear. Yeah, if we just turn it off, turn it on, we see that this message appears that we need to specify output parser. What does it mean? Let's go out from this block, and we see now that we have one more block appeared here, and we can see we can choose some structure. Yeah, structure output parser is something that we need to fetch in JSON format of the things, and here we can choose what a JSON structure will be for our response, and we can just provide the structures that we just saw in the text message. So it should be name of the category. Yeah, it should be price, and it should be also, and the price should be something like 23. Yeah, let's see how it goes, because right now, as you can see, it is not just a number but also with euro, but we want it to be just a numbers. And another one is category, and it should be kind of text. Yeah, category, category name. So this is one object, but in general we will have a few objects, so it should be an array of such objects. Yeah, okay, now it looks good. And let's see how the output of the model change after we implemented these structure things. Let's go into the side of this basic LM chain and click test. So as you can see, now we have pretty much good formatted text, formatted output. And now we have to split that output to separate rows. Yeah, to do that, let's go inside the split and choose the field, like just drag and drop it here, output, and yeah, nothing else have to be changed. And anyway, like anytime when you do something, you can click test just to see if you received something that you really want. And this is actually what we need, because we have the structure that kind of array with 2 items. Previously you see it was just 1 item. Now we have 2 items, and each item will be processed separately. Okay, looks good. And now we have to add another Google Sheets things looks to actually append our row into the list, into the Google Sheet. Yeah? So we will use a split output, and now we also will use our sheet connection account. We will use this sheet within document, and append row operation is good. And now we choose n8n test, and from n8n test on sheet we'll choose financial tracker. So, and now we can click test, but let's first clean up our list of the stuff, and let's go here. And yeah, actually now it won't work because we need to populate the field. Let's click just to see that it doesn't work. So you see that a value have to be assigned. And let's do this one by one. Let's drag and drop price and category. Yeah, okay, looks good. And here we should use some date. There is some function we can use, for example, now, and you will see what is the output format for this function. Let's leave it as is for now, and let's test it again. Let's click test. So now it looks good. We have some time. Probably we don't need time. We just need a date, but let's leave it as is for now. Okay, and if we go to the Google Sheet, we see that all data were populated. So yeah, looks great. But now we have also something to do with the output to our chat, yeah? And we need actually to probably summarize what we just did, yeah? With this chat. Let's do some thing like that. We actually can copy this model just to not control C. You see that it was copied, and now we go here and insert yeah, this model. We don't need actually this, we just need to have a format, a basic format, so not specific format, just message. And yeah, let's click test. Or not test, we need to first modify the output. Yeah, but also first we have to before we just make the split out, but now we have to collect back all the stuff, because otherwise our next step and our next AI model will get the message 2 times, because each element from the list will be processed separately. We need to choose all items to the single list. Let's have data and do nothing with that. So let's click test. Okay, we have now data, and it's kind of one element inside the list, and we can use it now in our last module. Let's probably scale it down a bit, and then let's go here, and we don't need actually this system prompt. We can remove it, and we need just to update this prompt with something that will also help us to summarize. Let's open to bigger screen. So now you can see we have an access to all this data that we received from Aggregate as one object. To get this, we still need this use this map function to iterate over the all elements. And we just change this prompt to summarize. Please summarize everything that we just did. What was the categories for the food, and what was the total price, blah blah blah. Okay. And now we can test this flow too. Let's click test. And now we see some text message that our AI actually made for us with some summary. So we have €8 in total. Yeah, probably can be adjusted just to have some currency too here and in the Excel report as well. But for now, I think we are good to go. Let's test it a bit. Yeah, let's test this flow. So let's unpin data here. Unpin. Now we can start chat, and let's populate this message again just to see if it will work as expected. So waiting. Okay, now we see that some summary. Okay, 8 items. It should be 2 more. Yeah, let's probably add something from sport. Yeah, let's adjust our message. And also I've bought a bike for 20, probably, yeah, it's not €500. Let's see how it goes. Okay, now we see that summary changed. The data included 3 items. Okay, it puts to the car category, probably still need to be adjusted. Okay, total spending, all calculation, and if we go to Google Sheet, we'll see bread and bike. Yeah, everything appeared here. Yeah, probably with categories it require more adjustment or more instruction how to categorize a product better, but in general it looks pretty nice. Okay, I think that's it for current workflow. Very exciting to adjust this or introduce even more functionality to this workflow. For example, we can add kind of not only text, but also if we go here, we can add field like file upload. Yeah, allow file upload and test. Now we see this sign. Just if we click on it, we can choose any file that we want, which we can choose any file from our folder local computer just to attach it to the chat. And later we can also improve this flow and just have kind of if statement, for example, here. Yeah, we can add if, and in if we can choose or do some checks, like if we have chat message or we have some file imported, and then extract all the data from the site, for example. So, and it will be extracted and categorized and pulled together in the our Google Sheet file. So if you're interested in something like that, please let me know and we will just improve this workflow to make it more flexible and more functional. Okay, we've just built automated financial tracking without even writing any line of code. So if you like this practical approach, let me know what other workflow you want to automate and I will do it in the next videos. But thank you for being with me till this time, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and until next time, automate more and work less. Ciao.